Hey guys, welcome to Magic Behind the Magic. This is part 2 of the series about building a website that actually works for your booking system. So let's get into it. There's a lot of information. Hey guys, so in this video we're talking all about the copy for your website. Okay, now what is copy in your website? Well, simply put, it is getting all the information that your client will need to know and putting it together in an informative and structured way that they can easily discover more about your services and you. Now, there are 2 rules when it comes to copy. Okay, the first rule is everything needs to be relevant and it needs to be informative. There's those keywords again. I'm going to say it. Information is the key to a strong working website. Okay. The second thing is it needs to be short and to the point. In this day and age, with all the technology we have, all the information running around in our brains, and everybody busy, we like to get information quickly and very, very smartly. Okay. That means people are sitting in elevators while they're quickly looking for something for their kid's birthday party, whatever it is. They don't want to have to open it up and read 3 pages of stuff just to find out, oh no, maybe this guy isn't the right person for me. So you need to really narrow it down, okay? The simple rule on this, the simple way to do this is to first of all write down everything you want and then start compacting it down, getting rid of all the little bits of jargon and the things that don't really make any difference to whether they're going to book you or not. So in that, I also like to add pictures as a part of the copy. Now, some people think that might be wrong, I don't know. But the way I look at it is that pictures tell 1,000 words, okay? But you don't have to read 1,000 words. It's very quick, it's instant. You look at a picture, you get emotion, you get a feeling of what's going on, you understand what's happening straight away. You can read into it and you can see in great detail what's really going on. So pictures are absolutely a definite part of the copy as far as I'm concerned. Now, when I talk about writing copy, I also need to point out to you that one of the biggest mistakes people make is they put their eyes too close together. Ugh, I don't mean like that. I mean you need to separate your eyes. Not those sorts of eyes, these sorts of eyes, the letter I. Instead of saying, I do this, I do that, I can help you, I will do this, you need to turn it around and say you instead of I. What that does is it puts it back onto the viewer of the website and it personalizes it so they become more involved with it. So instead of saying, I will make your kids laugh and have the best time ever, you turn it around and you say, you will love seeing your kids laugh and have the best time ever. It's that simple, guys. It doesn't take rocket science or anything like that. It's just a matter of looking at it and separating your eyes. Sure, you still need some eyes in there sometimes, but you don't always need eyes. And it works the same way with photos as well, okay? So look, I'll show you a classic example. In my very first website, I had images like this, all right? Ugh, they're not that bad, but you know what? They weren't really what I wanted, but they were representative of exactly where I was at that time, I guess, in some way. I certainly had darker hair, not the grey stuff back then. But what I can also tell you is that my website since then has evolved around, and now with photos like this, I certainly get a lot more bookings, okay? And the main difference there is, in these old photos, it's all about me. It's me with a kid, and the kid often looks very confused. I'm not really sure what's going on. But in my new photos, look at that. It's all about the kids having fun, and that's what the viewer wants. They don't really care. As long as they think that you're going to do the right job and that you seem a nice enough person in some way, they don't really care about you. What they care about is making sure their child has the best time ever, if you're a kids entertainer, which most of you guys probably are. So there you go. That is like one way of looking at photos, okay? Now, the other thing is, you need to also remember that websites don't close the deal, okay? Websites are the end of it, okay? What a website needs to do, and the information you put on your website, it needs to give them enough information that they want to know more and they want to make contact with you in some way, okay? I look at it like this. The website doesn't close the deal, it opens the door to the possibility of closing a deal. That's all it does, okay? So your website doesn't have to sell. Another way I look at it is, we talk about selling the sizzle a lot, and that happens all the time in sale. And what that is, that's a classic, an old, saying from the salesman of the yesteryear, I guess, when they were out trying to sell McDonald's or something like that. I don't know. But what it comes down to is, instead of actually, giving the person the hamburger, you talk about the smell and you talk about how it's going to taste and what it's going to look like and how good it's going to feel and how Moorish it is, and you get them wanting that hamburger, okay? Then they'll go and buy the hamburger. And it's the same with any service or any product, really. It's like when you buy a new car, they don't talk to you about all the benefits of the car. They get you in the car and you can smell the new car smell, all that sort of stuff. That's what they want you to feel. They want you to feel like this is the ultimate dream and you have to have it. Then they sell it to you. So that's what your website does. Your website needs to, I like to put it this way, okay? You need to save some of that sizzle for when they make contact back to you, and then you can close the deal by giving them the taste and also a little bit more of that smell, okay? So don't put everything in your website. For instance, for me, I talk about on my website, I say, your child will be the star of the show, okay? I don't tell them how about that child will be the star of the show. But when they contact me and they want to know more information, that's like my closing deal. It's like, it's going to be this, 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 and this, and your child is going to do this. How amazing is that? And all their friends are going to be astonished, and they're going to be loving it, okay? Then I've sold them. At that point, they're like, oh, I want my kid to be that child. That's my child up there doing that with that. That would be fantastic. So you need to think of it that way. Of course, you need to give them as much information as you can, but you don't want to give them everything. Save some for a bit later on so you've got something to talk about when they do make contact with you, okay? It's really that simple. So there you go, guys. That's the end of this video. I know there's a lot in there, but what I want you to do, before I forget, we're talking about photos, okay? Now, these first photos that I did, I'm going to show you another one. Oh my golly gosh. But I tell you what, how I did those photos are taken in my home, okay? And it was done just purely by going up to the school and getting some of my kids' friends and their parents and saying, hey, come over on Saturday afternoon. I'm going to do a magic show and it's free of charge. You guys come into our place. Parents, you can have a coffee and some biscuits, sit back, enjoy the show as well. The kids get to be in it, but there is a little bit of a deal here. I need to be able to take photos that I can use on my website and Facebook. If you want to come along, fantastic. If you don't, I fully understand. And that's all I did. And so I got 5 or 6 kids came over and we sat down in the room and I had the show ready. We did the show. I ran it like a real show. My wife raced around clicking the photos, but that's how I got my first videos. I did get a video from that too, but it's also how I got my first images. Now, let me tell you what I do these days, and I love this, okay? Now, what I do is I go into a party and I take with me my camera and my tripod, and I just say to the parents when I get there, I say, do you mind if I video this just for my own personal record? There's just a few things I want to try out and I want to see how it works out. 9 times out of 10, they say, yeah, that sounds great. So I do that. Sometimes they'll say to me, yeah, but could I get a copy of the video? I say, yeah, of course you can. Absolutely. It doesn't cost me anything to do that. So I then set up the tripod at a nice angle where I'm getting the kids' faces sitting in the row, and they get me, and I go, and off we go. And I press record, I stand up, and I do the show. Then at the end of it, I say to the parents, that was fantastic. I love being a part of that. Do you mind if I take some stills off that video and put them on my website? Because I think there's going to be some really nice shots in there. And 9 times out of 10, they say, absolutely. Sometimes they say, oh, could we see them first? I say, of course, of course. And I email them and I show them and I say, look, I'm not going to mention names. I just want to do this. Sometimes they're like, oh, they're fantastic. Put them on your Facebook. Do what you want with them. Yeah, we love it. I also send them those copies of those photos, and I send them a copy of the video as well if they want it. If they don't want it, I don't worry about it. But that's what I do, and I hope that helps you guys if you're struggling to get photos, good photos. That's a really good way of doing it. Don't make a big fuss about it either. I just have to say, just sort of go with it. If they say no, understand that, respect that, and say that's fine. And I always say that when I ask them, I say, do you guys mind? If you say no, I fully understand. But like I said, 9 times out of 10, they're like, thumbs up, yeah, let's do it. They love it. So I hope that helps you guys a lot. So get typing, start thinking about what your copy is. Remember, in the first video, if you haven't seen it yet, go back and have a look at it. It talks about looking at other people's websites to start getting some ideas going. Have a check out. And don't forget, type, and really get into this, because if you get this right, it sets you up for an ongoing booking system that's going to work and generate more and more business. On that note, I just want to say one more very quick thing. When I was first building my website, I would come home from work and religiously I would put in 2 to 3 hours every night. Sometimes it was just working on copy, sometimes it was just shifting things around, but I was doing it. But we're going to talk a bit more about that in the next couple of videos when I start talking about the layouts and things like that. All right, guys, I hope it helps a lot, and I will catch you guys soon. Cheers.